Hello, everyone. Sarah here. Today, I wanted to share a post that came up as a memory that came up a year ago today. So, on my Facebook page, a year ago today, I shared the importance of awareness. Awareness is so important. Without it, you miss so many things. And awareness being the beginning of healing, the beginning of your breakthrough. Many of us, we're on this journey through life, but we don't become aware of really where things go off. And that's the first step to change, is being aware. And I wanted to share with you how this relates to this picture today. If you can see this, this is a picture. I just took my car in this morning. That's me, my car and its health. And it says right here. And I thought, oh no, that's not good. Not in my opinion anyway. Some would say, what do you mean? It's not bad until it really gets in the red, but I want it to be in the green. I want everything in my life to be in the green. I want my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health. I want my relationships to be in the green. I want my physical health to be in the green. I want everything to be in the green. And I think most people would say they want that as well. They want their financial health, their relationships, their physical health. We want things to be in the green because green feels good, right? They both start with green. Green and good feel like, I feel like I can breathe. I feel at ease. I feel at peace. And it's funny because my daughter will always ask me, Mommy, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, green, green, green. I love green. Especially when I've done any kind of energetic work and you've done work with chakras. I mean, your heart chakra is actually, if you think it's red, it's not red, it's green. We don't want to be in the red. The red is down here. It's like, no, scarcity, fear, anger, panic, rage, all those things that like I'm seeing red, right? You've probably seen that movie. My daughter's watched it a million times. Seeing red. I prefer seeing green, and the health of my car is very much related to our mental, emotional, spiritual health, and that's what the topic of today's video is going to be. So this is my car's health, and I took it in this morning. You can't see it, it's kind of blurry, but 18 points passed. They do this full inspection when you take your vehicle in. 5 points are non-urgent, and I'm like, well, they're going to be urgent soon if we don't do anything about them. And that's so true with our mental health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health, where we think, oh, it's not urgent, no worries, I'll take care of it later, I'll do it later, I've got more time. But over time, and I hear that all the time in this healing industry and spaces, time heals all things. No, it doesn't. It does not. Because my time, I've had this car, it's 2022, I've had this car since 2017. So the time that I've had it is for 5 years, and I haven't done the type of things that are in this 6 point urgent, that are pulling the good things and changing and altering the average from these good things to not so good, moving towards the red. And if more time goes on and I don't address them and I pretend that I'm not aware of them or remain unaware, it's going to slide this way. And that's true with everything in our life. So that's why time does not heal all things. The more time goes on, the more problems can occur if you're not giving yourself the maintenance that you need, right? There are things that have, and they're in green. Motion at the front door. Okay. Benefits of having a camera and notifications on your phone. So what's the whole point of this video today? Well, it's not about my car, but that is what inspired it, because last time I took my car in for an oil change, they said, you're going to need some things coming up. And I thought, oh God, right? And our first question is, how much is that going to cost? And we can see things as a cost, as an expense, or we can see things as a cost in forms of investment. Same is true with our car as is for our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you seeing it as a cost and, oh my God, how much is that going to cost? Or are you seeing it as an investment? I see everything I do in life as an investment. Everything is. So I'm investing in my car's health because in that, I feel safer, I feel more confident, and I realize it's not just me that's being impacted. And this is so relevant and so true with your mental, emotional, and spiritual health, with my mental, emotional, and spiritual health. It's an investment. Because if I feel more confident, more secure, just like I do when I drive my car after I've invested, it was like $3,500 to make the needed repairs and changes. Oftentimes we have needed repairs and changes that we need to make, but we're seeing it as how much does it cost, right? And instead of, I get to invest in this, because when I invest in my car and I do the needed maintenance and repairs, I can get behind the wheel and I can feel safe, secure, and confident myself and knowing, okay, things are good. And it's not just me who's in the car most of my time, my daughter's in the car. So it's also impacting her. And it's not just me and my daughter who are in the car, it's everyone else who drives past me. My car's not going to explode and then impact them, right? So it not only impacts ourselves, it impacts those that are closest to us and those that we love, and it impacts everyone else. Oftentimes, we don't think about things like that in these kind of terms. How is our car's health related to our mental health? It's the same. But I wouldn't have known what needed to be done had I not had this evaluation, right? But I was kind of aware. I was aware because there was certain length of time, it had been a certain number of years, and I hadn't done any big or major repairs like this. So I knew I could almost expect that things were coming up. And the same is true when you're in emotionally abusive and toxic relationships. You can think, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Because we're not like a car. We don't have lights that come on and say, it's time, but we kind of do. You may not think that, but you know that if you're being truthful and you're being honest with yourself, you have internal lights, you have an internal diagnosis system, just like your car has one. You've got one too. You know when things are not going well. And maybe the internal dialogue and health system is you're not sleeping at night. Instead of sleeping through the night and waking up feeling energized, restful, having a clear, calm, focused mind, you're not sleeping through the night. Ding! That should be like an indication, like a light that's going on your car's dash. This is going on in your internal dash, right? Your system is messed up. You're always stressed. You're projecting and you're yelling at people that you love the most and people that are close to you. You're constantly taking things out on your partners or your children, and things are not going well, right? Your job's being impacted, your sleep's being impacted, your health. You've got an internal diagnosis system, but because it's not in your face like a car's is, you're going, no, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'll do it later, do it later, do it later. And that's part of the archetype of what I call the P me. And if you're wondering more about what the PME is, we're not going to get into it in this video, but I'll link to it below. There's a whole series on the 5 archetypes of the emotionally traumatized, abused, and neglected. And these are where those things come from. Because of an emotionally neglectful and abusive past, we stop paying attention to those internal lights that are going off. We start saying, I don't have time for that right now. I'll do that later. Or we don't believe that we have what we need to take it in and invest in fixing it and healing it. The problem is, just like my car, if I don't take it in and invest whatever I need to invest in and to get it fixed and to feel safe and confident and trust that when I get behind that wheel, I have confidence knowing things are working the way that they're designed to work, that the way that they're supposed to work. And we are designed and supposed to work in a certain way as well. We're supposed to be able to get a restful night's sleep. We're supposed to be able to manage things in our life without exploding on everyone and without taking it out on ourselves and being so harsh and so critical and so negative and so judgmental on ourselves. We're supposed to be able to process and navigate through things. We're supposed to be able to have high levels of emotional intelligence. But if you've got a body and a mental and emotional system where there's lights going off and you're ignoring it and you're going, oh my God, no, I can't afford that. I can't do that. I don't have time right now. And those are things that show up in the form of excuses, validations, reasons why you can't, right? Limiting negative reasons, that self-talk that's critical, that's like, well, I can't because I've got to go focus on this. And that's a defense mechanism. That's a coping mechanism that you either learned or were modeled or taught that you've now used, right? It's almost like a way of driving, if you will. That is the way that you drive the car now, right? You're and it's like, whoa, whoa, you're that person on the road that everyone else gets pissed off by. And it's like, whoa. And is that triggering you to react the same? Are you that person who's going to drive up behind them and do the same to them that they did to you because you're now triggered because they're doing that to you and it triggers you and it sets you off, so you do it back to them? And relationships or environments, like your environment in childhood, if it was chaotic, if you've had relationships that were chaotic, that were filled with emotional abuse and neglect, you've got that internal switchboard and system that's going off, right? And telling you, hey, your health is going from green, yellow, maybe red in certain areas. And these are things that you need to invest in and change or fix very, very soon, or they're going to completely break down and not work anymore. And you may be at that part already in your mental, emotional, and spiritual life. You may feel like I'm broken down. I'm not working. I am off on the side of the road, like smoke coming out my engines. That's what I feel like. And I feel like I'm past the point of repair or fixing because you didn't take care of things when they were in the yellow, right? You didn't set healthy boundaries. You didn't walk away. You didn't say no. You didn't move. You didn't leave. You didn't change. You didn't go because you didn't feel that you were worthy of it. You didn't feel that you were capable of it. You didn't trust yourself. I don't know. You let fear come in and take over and tell you things like, oh, what's that going to cost? What's it going to be like? All of the fear of the unknown. And you thought, well, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And now, instead of being in the yellow, it's in the red. And I'm not talking about your car state, your own state, your mental, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual state, your energetic state is now in the red and it feels like it's dead. And you're thinking, oh my God, Sarah, I've never thought about my car like my mental and emotional state. Thank you. You're welcome. I say all that to say this, awareness is key, right? I was aware of what this was going to cost financially. And would I rather spend that money on other things? Yes and no. Because I'm investing that money in my car's health, I'm also investing it in my emotional health and my physical health. I feel more safe driving in a car that I know that all the things are new and are replaced and I can rely on them. I can trust them to work the way that some of the things when I clicked on the link to the report, it said it's broken, it's cracked. And I thought, oh no, that's an important part of a car. A control arm? I don't know exactly what it does because I'm not the one that does that, but I know broken and cracked are not good words. And sometimes we feel like that. We feel that we're broken. We feel that we're cracked, and we know we're broken and cracked because I, you know what? I'm not an auto mechanic, but if I were a person mechanic, I would know that I do this because I feel like I'm broken. I do this because I feel like I'm cracked and like all of my energy is drained and leaking out, and I can't hold love. I can't hold compassion. I can't hold kindness. I can't hold acceptance. I can't hold forgiveness in that place that I need to. Why? Well, because it's broken, it's cracked, it's torn, and just like that control arm on my car was. Okay, that's not a good thing. Do your thing, get in there and fix it and change it, replace it, make it new. And that's exactly what using your unconscious mind allows you to do. That's exactly what I'm trained in doing, exactly what I love, love, love doing. It's like an auto mechanic for your mind. When you connect with someone and work with someone who's not just going to sit there and diagnose you and say, well, this is your problem. You already know. You already know because you're living a life that mirrors the problems that you have. And so what good does it to do to just sit in someone and say, well, this is your problem? And you're thinking, aren't you a genius? Thanks. I know. Now get in there and fix it and change it. And that's what getting in there, just like the auto mechanic who diagnosed what needs to be done does. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Fix it. That's that awareness is knowing something is off, and maybe it's not completely off that it's so broken yet, but you know, okay, it's not working and I want it to work smoothly, efficiently, the way it's designed to, and you want that for yourself as well in your own life. You want to be working as you were designed to, and you were designed to be able to go through life navigating and handling the curves. I was on a trip with my daughter yesterday, and we went on this incredibly beautiful hike, but the last several miles of the drive were bumpy. They were off a paved road and onto a dirt road and potholes and divots because there had been a lot of storms on this road and lots of rocks and like, oh my God, moments like those oh shit handle kind of moments. Hold on, girl. And it was fun. But I trusted that I was equipped to have what I needed to take to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone down that road. And that's what life is like. right? It's maybe going, oh shit, I don't know, but trusting that you can navigate that and you can get through it and you're not going to get stuck or break down on it. And when you are still carrying around inner unhealed wounds and emotional trauma from past relationships or past neglect, that's often what you feel like. You get stuck, or you feel broken down, you feel incapable, you feel unable. When you get in and you really work with your unconscious mind, that's like the diagnosis system. That's like, okay, here are the things that are in the green, right? And you know the things that are in the green because they're flourishing, they're green, they're abundant, right? And you think, these are some of the things that I could work on. And these are things you know about yourself. You don't need a physical report or diagnosis to know where you would like change, because the areas of yellow and red, those are the areas that need the change. The green areas, they don't need change. They're good to go. Like, keep going, go have fun. But you're very aware of yourself, even though you're not a car and you don't have a diagnosis report like this. You're aware. These red ones, they say urgent. And the other one's non-urgent, but why let them go any longer? They're just going to continue to get worse. So what are those areas of your life where you're very aware that if you don't do anything to make a change, they're just going to get worse? Or you're eventually going to be stuck, stranded on the side of the road, right? You're going to be alone the rest of your life. That's one of my clients' greatest fears when they come to me, Sarah, I know if I don't fix these change or things or change these things about me, I fear that I'm going to be alone the rest of my life. Who would want to be with me? Look at how I am. Look at me, right? And that's that awareness component, is looking at ourselves and giving ourselves an internal rating. These are the things I love about myself. And sometimes people, when they have gone through such heavy emotional abuse and neglect in the past, they don't see that any areas of their life are in green. Maybe they've got a job and they make enough money. Yay, green. But look at the rest, right? And so they feel that the average is being pulled down and being pulled back. So that is where truly doing the inner work to connect with your unconscious mind is like that diagnosis, like that auto mechanic who comes in and says, okay, this is what we're going to change, and this is how we're going to change it. Are you ready to make that investment in yourself? With the understanding that if you put it off, just like if I were to put off making that investment in my car, what I could expect is that maybe not tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow, because one of the things that was on there was my battery's like dead. So who knows? Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow. Done. Problems. Here you go. There's a platter of problems. And I'm left on the side of the road by myself or with my daughter. It's the same thing with your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. You never know. But when you know that things are off, are you just ignoring them? When you feel those internal check engine lights are on and are blinking and are like, hello, 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 you need to be taken in. You need to change some things. You need to get new things in there. You need to make some upgrades, or else you're not going to be getting anywhere anytime soon. That's the power of working with your unconscious mind. That is the power of healing from those past pains and trauma, from abusive and neglectful situations in the past. Those things that you're still holding on to, that broke you, that made you feel cracked or damaged or abandoned on the side of the road. Getting into your unconscious mind and making those repairs, making those changes, making those upgrades, so that all the parts of your life, mentally, not mentally. I've been putting words together lately. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, you feel that you're in the green, and you can go and you can travel and drive down those bumpy, fun, adventure-filled roads like my daughter and I got to do yesterday. It was so much fun. We had such a great time. We made so many wonderful and beautiful memories together. And I know that that's because not just the confidence that I had in my car. I mean, look at the report I got today, and that was just yesterday. But making those changes within myself to heal from my own emotionally abusive and neglectful past, from narcissistic relationships, and making those internal upgrades where I now know I'm in the green zone. And I'm teaching her methods and ways to stay in the green zone or get back in the green zone when you feel like you've gone into the red or the yellow. Not hold on to those and not go, oh, I'll do it later. No, I don't have time. It's too expensive. So what investment are you making in your mental, emotional, and spiritual health? So if you're investing in your car, and you're like me, and you see this and you go, oh, hell no, 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 we need to get in the green. Come on, girl. Mm-mm. And I feel the same way about myself. For a long time, I didn't. And then I became aware that I was the common denominator in all my problems. For a long time, I used to blame, it's the narcissist, it's this person, it's because of this job, it's because they, it's because of them. And then I became aware that that wasn't doing anything to fix, change, or solve the problem. That was not getting me into the green zone. In fact, pointing the finger at other people and things outside of my awareness and control were taking more of the power away, was making more problems, was like moving it more into the yellow and the red, because then it was like, well, there's nothing I can do. It is the way it is. And that is simply untrue. There are so many things you can do to change your mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual state from the red and the yellow into the green. And that begins with working within your unconscious mind, changing those broken beliefs, putting new, powerful, positive, affirmative, confident beliefs in place so that you can get on that road and journey through the rest of your life knowing I've got this. And I'm so aware and in tune with when things get off. And I happily go, here you go, fix it. Change it. Let's do this, because I realize the greatest investment you can ever make is the investment that you make in yourself. Hands down. So true. I can choose any kind of car to drive, but I can't choose any kind of body to have. I can't choose any kind of mind to have. But why am I going to settle with one, right? I've got the one I've got. I've had the experiences that I have. But when the experiences that I have take my mental, emotional, and energetic state into the yellow and into the red, I can change that. But I can't go back and change things from the past. But I can change how they're impacting, affecting, and influencing me and the relationship I have with myself and everyone else today. That's what can be changed. So when you notice that your mental, energetic, spiritual state is in the yellow and in the red, and it's time, it's time to get aware, really clear and aware of the things that you want to change in your life, yet you don't know where to go. It's almost like, what auto mechanic do you want to go to? I don't know. There's the one who says, I can fix everything, and will lie to you and say, all you need to do is this, and then you'll be changed. And they just leave you with the diagnosis of what still remains to be fixed. Or you can work with the ones that maybe are a little bit more of an investment, but actually give you those results, and give you those results much more quickly. So you don't need to keep going back to the auto mechanic going, hey, hello, it's still not fixed. It's still not broken. It's still not working. So you have a choice in who to invest your time, your energy, everything with. And that choice is up to you, or you can choose to do nothing. I mean, it's always a choice, and the choice is always up to you. Me personally, when I feel and know something's off, and and someone tells me, here's what we can do, and we're the best to fix it, and this is what it's going to take, here you go. I love making those kind of investments, and the greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself. And that would be like me. So I have a drive a Volkswagen, right? If I were looking for just the cheapest option, I could go to Joe Schmo. And I'm sorry if there's a Joe Schmo auto repair down the street from me, and it's just a name I'm using. I could go to Joe Schmo's auto repair because he says it'll be $50. Really? Awesome. Okay. Yeah. And I can have it done in, I don't know, 1 hour. Wow. Okay. But then I realized Joe Schmo did nothing. He truly did nothing except print out a thing and say, here you go. I changed your oil. Thanks. But it needed control arms. And then I realized that Joe Schmo actually didn't put the right oil in, because I have a Volkswagen and he only works on Chevys. Okay. Thanks, Joe Schmo. Thanks for nothing. Because now I'm out more money and I still have the problem, and I probably have a greater problem because now you put the wrong oil in it, it messed up the whole engine. So you have a choice of who to invest in. And that choice is up to you. I don't choose to go to Joe Schmo. I choose to go to someone who I know and has a reputation of knowing that they know what they're doing, and that they've worked on Volkswagens before. It's very different from working on a Chevy. Very, very different. And you get to choose. You get to choose in who to invest with. and to invest in. And the greatest investment, knowing this, and I say this with full confidence, that you can ever make, greater than any investment you can ever make in your car, is the investment that you make to work within yourself. And if you're just working with someone at the conscious level, you're going to get 5% of the results, because consciously 5% of your mind is run off these conscious thoughts and programs. But the housing of the program is the unconscious mind, is the subconscious mind. And when you work with that 95%, everything else changes. Everything moves in the direction you want it to go in. But the choice is yours. You can go wherever you want to go, and you can do whatever you want to do. No one's going to make you or force you. But when you're really making this step and this commitment to work with yourself, to truly get your life out of the yellow and the green, or yellow and the red, into the green, the greatest and fastest way you're going to get there is working through your unconscious mind. You're working with someone who is trained to do that, who has results of doing that. And I'm not saying this to boast. I'm just saying this because I've made those mistakes in my past as well. And the last several years, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people to get emotionally powerful breakthroughs, to have the confidence in themselves, to trust in themselves, to do the things that they've always wanted to do, that they always felt so afraid to do before, those things internally that are holding themselves back, keeping them feeling stuck and small and feeling broken and abandoned on the side of the road. And now it's like their life is like in the fast lane, like on the Autobahn, in a Porsche, like, here we go. All that stuff in my past, I'm not connected to it anymore. I'm not the old clunky down broken out car anymore. I invested in myself, and now nothing can stop me. And that's what I want for you. That's what I've been able to achieve for myself in such a short time. And that's what I want for you. And that's the reason why I share so much content and all these analogies and metaphors and all these videos, is so that you too can know that that is available for you. And it's available for you when you use the right tools, when you use the right methods. That would be like saying, hey, Joe Schmo, do you have this tool? Well, I don't know, you have a Volkswagen, and I normally work on Chevys, but let me see if the Chevy tool works on the Volkswagen. No, stop. What are you doing? You're going to make it even worse. And that's often what people do. They look for the cheapest way out. And you go to someone who's like, I'm gonna make it work. And you're thinking, no, you're not even using the right tools. What are you doing? Just stop it. You're making this worse. And it's up to you to make that decision to stop doing things that don't work for you and invest in something that does. And truly, the greatest investment you can ever make, once you become aware of those things in your life that are in the yellow and in the red, is using the power of your unconscious mind, partnering with someone, investing in yourself to work together. Because it's not an investment in, when I tell my clients, when we work, especially when we work one-to-one together, you're not making the investment in me. You're not. I know it feels like that, but you're not. Trust me. You're making the investment in yourself. Like, I'm making the investment in my car by taking it, not to Joe Schmo's, but to the auto mechanic that I choose to take it to. But that's not me making an investment in them. It's not. I know that they get work and they're doing the work. But that truly is me making an investment in myself, because then when I receive it back, yes, I've given them an exchange of money for it, time for money, energy, right? They're working on the car and there's an exchange. But everything in life is an exchange of energy, time, money. Everything in life is an investment. I'm investing in myself. I know that I get behind the wheel of my car and I feel confident. I feel safe. I trust. So that is an investment in myself, not just in my car. And the same is true with anyone that you're exchanging time, energy, and money with. So that is the greatest difference. If we work together, if we're a good fit to work together, the investment is not in me. The investment is in you. The investment is in your mental, emotional, spiritual state, and trusting yourself and feeling confidence in yourself and increasing your self-worth and increasing your self-belief and changing all those yellow and red, broken, needs repair, needs replacement, needs improvement parts, and putting new ones in there, new, powerful, confident, unconscious beliefs in there, so that that's the system that your mind is running off of. How am I going to do this? I don't know, but I'm going to. I'm going to confidently trust and figure it out, because that is the programming that I have in my mind. So I don't know how, I don't know all the details yet, but I don't need to know that I'm going to get where I'm going to go and nothing is going to stop me. That's this power of awareness. And you really, when you get to that place and you're aware that your mental state is in the yellow and in the red, you can go anywhere you want to go. but they're not going to be able to do everything that you want them to be able to do unless they have the right tools. And that is what transformational healing is. That is rapid transformational therapy. That is using your unconscious mind, using the greatest tool that you have, your own mind, your unconscious mind, the unconscious beliefs that you have, because that's who's in the driver's seat of your life. Believe it or not. Go watch more videos on it if you don't believe me. That's not up to me. But wanted to share this with you because it's just so true. It just so deeply resonated. So if you were to take a diagnosis and get a little printout report of your life, much like you would your car, if you needed to take it into the shop, what would it be saying about your life right now? What are the areas that would need changing, that would need fixing? What are areas that are on the verge of literally not working anymore because they're already cracked and broken? And what are you willing to invest in to get those back in the green? If you're interested in working together, you can find out more information about how to do so using the links in the description below this video. Until then, much love to you all, and I'll see you all very soon.